Warner Brothers seems to be on a streak of making bad decisions right now, and just very weird decisions. I just made a video a few days ago about how Warner Brothers announced, after their complete flop of their AAA video game that was a spin-off of the Justice League, after that they announced that they are completely abandoning AAA titles and just focusing on live service games. That was just a few days ago. And I believe that was the first video I ever made on the Warner Brothers division of gaming. I didn't really know they published games at all, but all of a sudden they seem to be really in the spotlight of weird decision making, because now today this just broke that they will reportedly be delisting all Adult Swim games within the next 60 days, so by May of this year, 2024. So I'm sure you know this, but Adult Swim, you know, the part of Cartoon Network that has more adult cartoons, they have a section of their company that publishes video games usually based on their Adult Swim IPs. It is reasonably titled Adult Swim Games. Looking at their catalog on Wikipedia, they do definitely have a lot of video games. I mean, especially for a sort of spin-off part of a company. The most notable ones that I recognize are Duck Game and Jazzpunk. Not AAA titles by any sort. Usually they have smaller development teams, but some games do get pretty good reviews and are very well liked. And I mean, point is, they've already been made. These are games that are already developed and published, and for some reason now Warner Brothers has reportedly reached out to all of their developers at Adult Swim Games and informed them that they plan to delist and remove, all Adult Swim Games titles within, like I said, the next 60 days. Now, from what I'm seeing right now, there are only 3, absolutely confirmed Adult Swim titles that are being removed, and those are Small Radios, Big Televisions, Fist Puncher, and Sound Dodger Plus. But like I said, the big sort of whisper right now is that all of these titles are going to be removed. Now, it looks like some of these developers have reached out to Warner Brothers and basically requested that they get ownership of these games transferred to them so that they can keep these games alive. But reportedly, Warner Brothers Discovery has declined this. So they declined this transfer, citing logistical and resource constraints. I mean, very weird. Obviously, this is terrible and just downright wrong to do this to developers who have, some have really spent years working on some of these games, especially since, a lot of these games, like I said, have a smaller development team. So I guess the big question now is why? Why are they doing this? Well, I guess kind of along with the whole AAA games thing that they said a few days ago, along with that just kind of being a part of what they are seeing as their strategy for the future, I guess this cutting of all Adult Swim games is a part of their strategy, their sort of game plan going into the future. Part of this game plan includes cuts in not only their games, but also their films, their television shows. It's possible that it does cost some money to keep some of these games alive on Steam. I wouldn't think much, though. I mean, I wouldn't think that they are actually losing money from just keeping them up and online when you account for, at least some of the revenue that they are getting from these games. So I don't know, to me, it looks more like a shift in what they want to be their identity. Maybe they just don't like the look of the Adult Swim games being in their catalog, and for whatever reason, they just think that it's healthier for their catalog to just be purged of the Adult Swim games lineup. Very weird, and like I said, very frustrating for these devs. The thing that I think is very frustrating about this is that game preservation is something that it seems like a lot of game publishers really don't care about these days. I mean, you see like Nintendo, for example, and their whole debacle with the canceling of the Yuzu emulator, and you just see with so many other games, I don't know, I mean, so many games are just lost in time, it seems like. So I think game preservation is very important, and it's very frustrating when publishing companies will just outright Thanos snap some of their own catalog just into oblivion. I mean, it is completely bizarre to me. The only saving grace here, the only good thing that I'm seeing is that some of these game developers of these Adult Swim games are planning on relisting these games, basically copying and pasting them back onto Steam without the Adult Swim branding. Hopefully most of them can do that. But if these reports are true, all Adult Swim games will be completely gone within the next 60 days. So like I said, in May. Very dumb, very frustrating, definitely an L for Warner Brothers. We can only speculate on the exact reason of why they want to do this, but it would seem this entire Adult Swim games catalog is going away for good.